Let's talk about Terra Luna Classic again, because I'm not sick of Terra Luna Classic. Something happened with the Quan, and we heard a lot of lawsuit stuff, a lot of problems. If you don't know who the Quan is, he basically indirectly, or I'm not too sure of the legalities, but he potentially allegedly crashed Terra Luna Classic by a fault in code. He was the main leader of Terra Luna, now it's Terra Luna Classic. SEC experts' opinion in legal showdown now, there was a lot of problems. Like, the Quan is facing a lot of issues because he has been interested in Monte, basically another country in the Balkans, but we don't know if it's going to go to Korea now or the US. It doesn't really matter because both sentences are going to be very, very harsh. So that's the big problem right now with the crypto, in the crypto sense. Like, there is probably gonna be some major price drops we haven't seen yet. If he still has access to Terra Luna Classic, he probably doesn't have in that sense. But what I am seeing right now is people really frustrated with the Quan. So look at this. The defense at this point signed to the development in the legal landscape. So there's going to be a real game changer for Terra Luna Classic happening. Terra Luna Classic was kind of just, well, classicing, just not doing much in the last few days. There wasn't much to do in that sense. And it frustrated a lot of people in the long-term aspect because there wasn't much to change. There wasn't much to do. There wasn't many updates. And I think that was very problematic for a lot of these holders in that sense. Like, just nothing to do, really. But that being said, let's jump into more news on exactly what's going on with Terra Luna Classic.
Charges, a lot of the false claims even, and lack of evidence in certain situations which he was wrongfully convicted for or is wrongfully attempting to be charged.
Yeah, so he's basically charged for all this stuff. We don't know if it's gonna be bad, good, even. We don't really know in the long-term sense, but what we do know is this definitely crashed the price of Terra Luna Classic, and Terra Luna Classic has a huge problem, and that is having no leadership. So by having no leadership, Terra Luna Classic crashed down bad. Nobody, like, imagine a kingdom, so basically a land of kings without any king. That's terrible, right? That doesn't make any sense. Why would that be, right? And this is what happened with Terra Luna Classic. There was like a lot of quorum proposing things. There was a lot of people proposing, but it was like the French Revolution. People were really divided on where to go, what to do in that sense. So to me, it looked exactly like that, but it doesn't mean that the future will hold this as well. In that sense, I definitely think there's going to be more potential for Terra Luna Classic to recover. Right now, it's just not seeing those price hikes.
Proven that Sam Bankman-Fried, the owner of FTX, and many of his associates were actually responsible for destroying Terra Luna Classic and depegging the...
So yeah, some people were saying because the same wallet was in the problematic sense, that what we noticed is Terra Luna Classic seeing these huge drops in that long-term sense for Luna, basically. And a lot of people were very frustrated with that. A lot of people lost a lot of their money, and the Quan was put on the blame. I'm not sure. We're going to find in court if this is true or not, but this was definitely a problem right now at this point. So in the potential future, we could be seeing more price differences in that sense. We could be seeing more basic opportunities for anyone holding that crypto long term, going in for those easy gains. And Terra Luna Classic right now doesn't have a lot of holders. That's the big problem. It just isn't seeing a lot of opportunities it should have been seeing, because a lot of people just don't trust it. They don't know what's happening with Terra Luna Classic. And in my honest opinion, not a lot has happened in it. Not a lot of things have changed. That's the biggest problem.
Forward is really helping them in the ongoing legal battles. The defendants point to a significant development in the legal landscape, the amendments to Federal Rule of Evidence 702, effective December 1st, 2023. These changes place a higher burden on expert witness to ensure their opinions reflect a reliable application of methodology and facts. In other words, you don't have proper factual evidence to back up your claims, they're essentially thrown right out the window. Meanwhile,
so yeah, right now there is a lot of problem in the court way. Maybe the Quan can even win this and be found not guilty. The real thing, it won't really affect Terra Luna Classic's case price, maybe Terra Luna 2.0. But this person basically says there's no proof that the Quan did something bad, and it's going to be very hard to prove that. But that's what courts are for, right? And again, I'm not hating on the Quan or anything, but I do think a lot of people right now are really frustrated in that sense. Like, we don't know how long Terra Luna Classic has. We don't know where it will go. We don't know what will happen. And that uncertainty, it keeps people really frustrated with Terra Luna Classic. And we might just be seeing some bigger price drops for Terra Luna Classic in the near-term sense because of all these bad news we have been seeing going on.
It's going to spell great things for Terra Luna Classic and Luna as well. Because naturally, when the founder of a project is locked in jail, it is not great.
Yeah, so this is definitely not good news for Terra Luna Classic in that sense. But I will keep you guys updated if there's any new major price predictions. Again, anything could happen at that point. And I am really excited. If you guys want more content like this, smash that like button. Hey everyone, so why is Cardano getting so much hate? It seems to have a great future. And a lot of people are hating on Cardano. And this has been happening since 2018, I remember. So a lot of people were saying no to Cardano. Let's take a look at what exactly is going on with Cardano ADA. There seems to be a lot of probabilities of where it could go. Cardano has been in top 10 for a very long time. It will be probably top 5 the next bull run. The issue I see, the problem with this is they say this for every single token such as Solana, XRP, Kaspa. So there's only top 5 cryptos. There can only be 5 coins. And 2 of them, it's going to be Ethereum and Bitcoin. So there's only going to be 3 places left. But anyway, Hoskins himself, he didn't want to hype Moonboy price action. They want a steady organic growth, which I think is excellent in the long run. I think that's also sustainable. People care about Cardano when it starts to peak. I remember when everyone was hating Solana, specifically the network kept going down. I remember that also. And what ended up happening is now Solana is one of the biggest cryptos. Solana remains a liability, and anyone holding tokens is at risk of getting dumped on or disappointed when they realize the real definition of a centralized. So people are not happy about Cardano. We need to face the reality that people don't care about decentralization or core principles of blockchain technology. So this is very much true. People just don't care. They don't care at all what happens with crypto. I think that's the biggest problem. Cardano was hyped a lot and price crashed a lot. So Cardano hasn't even recovered from all-time highs. It might take even 10 years to actually recover from that, to recover from the bull runs that we saw. But it could happen. Never say never. So I'm definitely excited for that. I definitely think these crypto bull runs will happen at some point. But who knows? Where will we see those massive price rises? Now, that's a big question of not if, but when. So Cardano doesn't have much hype left behind. It just got utility. So it doesn't have a lot of holders. That's the biggest problem with Cardano. Projects with utility move slower in terms of price. So it might take multiple bear markets to actually see that major update, major bull run everybody was talking about, everybody was waiting for in that sense. So got me slightly worried there. But again, there is, going to be price action opportunities for Cardano ADA in the long-term sense. So I'm pretty excited for that still. It's not too bad in that sense. People lost money buying at $3, but that doesn't mean that Cardano will never reach $3 again. But what I'm seeing is a lot of people who bought it at $3, they end up hating it. They end up really hating it because now it's worth only a fraction of that. And they are like, where's the bull runs? Why is Solana growing but not ADA? And I believe most people are heavily invested in basically competitors of Ethereum, like blockchain competitors. Some people are buying a lot of Solana. Some people are buying a lot of Kaspa. And in the end, what you have is really a lot of problems in that sense. There's really no right or wrong picks in crypto. So that really got me wondering, like, where is crypto going to be in the long run? That we don't know for sure. But what we do know is, well, it's not over yet. And Cardano still has that potential to actually skyrocket back. Well, a lot of these coins might dump in the future because of their basic price drops. This doesn't mean it will dump now. So if you guys want more content like this, I will keep you guys updated with more news, because that's something I'm doing on this channel every single day for the past 3 years, on and off basically, but still. If you guys want to be kept up to date with that, be sure to smash that like button, and I will keep you updated with more awesome content like this. But until next time, smash that like button. Peace, everyone. Ethereum has been seeing a lot of price drops, and I wanted to really look into it, what's happening with ETH, because right now Ethereum has been underperforming the rat race to blockchains like Solana and Kaspa. Look at this. Yeah, Ethereum might have recovered 60, 90%, whatever, but when we look at the big players, they have recovered about 1,000%. Now, I know comparing blockchains is a completely different strategy, especially because it's a bigger market cap. But we should realize how important it is for Ethereum to overperform, especially because they just released their recent roadmap. That's a huge thing. A lot of people have been waiting for the roadmap. But there has been a lot of things confusing me for basic things like Ethereum.
In this video, we are going to look at on-chain data. Data you might have not seen before, data that's specific to Ethereum and where Ethereum very much differs from Bitcoin. Have a look at this. This is the burned Ethereum.
So yeah, this is the biggest problem. Look at how much was burned in May. I think someone was doing these trades. That's why they burned so much Ethereum. So we want to make Ethereum deflationary, right? And it's not making those changes even with September 2021. It's still not quite there yet. And that's kind of problematic if you ask me. Like, Ethereum is known to be a problem solver, not to be basic bull run market strategy like that. So that's where I think the big problem is right now with Ethereum. It deserves so much more growth, but it's not getting any. So how can we solve that in a sense? It definitely deserves so much more than that.
Since EIP 1559. So EIP stands for Ethereum Improvement Proposal, and what?
So yeah, these proposals, they're really changing Ethereum in a long-term sense. But Ethereum right now, it is quite deflationary. But compared to something like Binance Coin, it's not deflationary as much. So it is deflationary as 0.2% per year, but that's not enough. We need like 1% per year. If we can get to 1%, imagine Ethereum's price.
Graph of the website ultrasound.money, and it shows how is the Ethereum net supply developing over time. And this shows that since the merge at the current rate, the number of Ethereum that are circulating is contracting by 0.214% per year. Now imagine that merge would have never happened. The Ethereum supply then would have expanded by 3.1%. Now this sounds all rosy and everything.
So yeah, Ethereum was actually a lot inflationary, and this definitely affected the prices. I don't know if anyone would buy, even though it's a 3%. Like, you would have to buy 3% more from the whales per year to make it sustainable.
But how did Ethereum actually do since the merge? This is now almost 1.5 years ago. What we have over here in the chart behind me is not the Ethereum price, but it's the Ethereum dominance. So I like to look at how big is Ethereum in the entire crypto space, because crypto as a whole.
This is a very important factor, because when Bitcoin was dominating, everybody was buying it. So here's where I think the big price potential comes in. But Ethereum has a lot more competition than 2017. Like, look at this. It was almost as the 2023 on the bull run of 2018, because everybody was using Ethereum at that time. There was nothing else to use in that sense. So to me, it really does make kind of sense to hold Ethereum at that point. So that's a pretty awesome factor. A lot of people haven't been talking about. But I am definitely more excited to see some basic changes in that matter.
16 and 17, then a bit of a slowdown in growth, but still growth until 2021. And since 2021, we're going sideways because a lot of transactions are now moving to the cheaper layer 2 scaling.
So layer 2 scalings are something like Solana, something like Cardano even. Cardano doesn't have much hype, but it does have utility, more than Ethereum. And I'm kind of worried for Ethereum in that sense. Like, the holders got a ton of updates, but we didn't get an explanation of what these updates will be.
Solutions like Optimism and Arbitrum and Polygon. Here's the number of active addresses on Ethereum. Now this stopped growing already since the end of 2017. Right? We did grow in transactions to a degree. We hit a new all-time high in 2021. The number of active addresses seems to be slowing down even a little bit faster. Here's the number of new addresses, relatively constant at 2.5 million per month for quite a while. Now, why could this be problematic for Ethereum and not, for example, for Bitcoin? The main problem with crypto YouTube is conflict of interest. Too many YouTubers.
So here's what I think. Ethereum's on-chain volume monthly, again, as we say, it hasn't even recovered near those cents as 2018, 2019. So I find that slightly problematic. If you ask me, there is going to be problems with that in that sense. Like, we definitely deserve more than that in the Ethereum terms. So there is going to be probably more of these small updates in the long term. But right now, Ethereum has a huge problem with everything that's happening in crypto. It's just not seeing those price updates that we needed to see. So I am excited. I'm definitely excited in that sense to see crypto growing. I'm excited to see Ethereum growing. But again, I am kind of worried for Ethereum in the long-term sense. Like, where will it go? What will it do? What can it improve? And those are the real factors that make crypto, actually explode. So Ethereum is nowhere near these monthly volumes because of these layer 2 blockchains. And I think Ethereum could do something better, like not even lower transaction fees. It could find a way to find more users, for example. But it's just not doing enough. It's the oldest crypto in that sense. It's being held by most cryptocurrencies, but I don't know what's going to happen with Ethereum in the future. It could have a huge bull run, or it would have a huge drop for all we know. I will keep you guys updated more on this as well. Look at this.
And you move to proof of stake. You've got way less stakeholders, way less people that are interested in Ethereum. And so with the merge, especially the underperformance versus Bitcoin was very, very bad. 40%.
So yeah, it slightly it underperformed by 40%.
That there's a technical reason for this. I think this is conflict of interest by the current holders of Ethereum that wanted to get, again, continued return on their ETH. And so here's why this underperformance is especially concerning. The staked Ethereum as a percentage of all of Ethereum tended to trend upwards.
So yeah, 24% of all Ethereums basically staked their crypto, which is a massive amount. And that's even with Ethereum deflationary. Most people staking, they're actually making Ethereum. They're making money off Ethereum. But that is basically a double-edged sword. So yes, you give holders their staking profits, but they end up selling it, and we don't have such a deflationary coin. So Ethereum supply and profit is much bigger.
And the majority of people are in losses, not when they are in gains. So feel free to call me even at 100% for a while, but still, I'm more of a fan of buying an asset when the majority of people
So yeah, only 78% is in profit. Sometimes it was only like 45%. Absolutely insane, but I will keep you guys updated. Seems like 2017 was much bigger terms. But this is the reason Ethereum is down. These big stakers, they make a ton of profit, so it's really a double-edged sword, as he said. And I feel like Ethereum could fix that in the future with more updates, with more approvals. For example, lowering the staking rewards might hurt in the short term, but in the long term, it's actually going to help the Ethereum price, increasing the burns. So something that tokens have is burns and specific burns. If we can increase those burns, then we could have more money in while. But I'll keep you guys updated with more content like this, and smash that like button. Until next time, peace everyone.